is Shannon from No Shelf Control. Thank you for joining me here on my channel again today. I got some new music. Not sure if you heard that, but I was very excited. I have a little bit of a theme song now, and so I hope you heard that, and I'd love to know if you liked it. So I do have 4 books that I won from Goodreads Giveaways over the past week to 10 days. Sometimes I just get really lucky, and this happened to be one of those weeks where I won a lot of books. So let's get started. The first book I want to share with you is Hideaway at Silver Lake. It is about 300 pages. It is published by Avon, and it will be out on January the 31st. So it is not quite out yet, but you could pre-order it if you're interested. As I mentioned in my video yesterday, I know it helps authors a lot when we pre-order their books. So if this is something you're remotely interested in, please pre-order it and get it at your house. Let me read a little bit about the book from the back of the cover. So it says, "There's no place like home for the holidays. But Poppy McGuire is done with all that. Her sisters are hopelessly dependent on her, and her father is brilliant but completely irresponsible. What she needs is a change of pace, of heart, of attitude, and so she flees to an isolated Wisconsin cabin, determined to get through a happy solo New Year's. At first, Poppy's blissful solitude is interrupted only by a few welcome distractions in the form of Sam Cooper, her hunky, flannel-clad neighbor, and his lovable, rather large dog, Bubbles. The weight of responsibilities falls off her shoulders, reigniting a joy in life she'd thought was long gone. And then her sisters track her down." So, interested in this. I think that it's going to be a romance, obviously. So intrigued. I'll be interested to see what happens. Also loving the winter cover. We got snow here yesterday, so this should be a cozy winter read for the current temperatures, and I'm looking forward to that. So Hideaway at Silver Lake, give it a try. The next book that I want to talk to you about, as I mentioned, these next 3 are all ebooks. So the next one that I want to talk to you about is called Convincing Florence. And my iPad is not cooperating with me right now, but here we go. Convincing Florence. It is published on January 6th, so it just came out. It is about 300 pages, 306 pages, and it is self-published. I also noticed that it's available on Kindle Unlimited, so it is something that you could get for free. I happen to win it through a Goodreads giveaway, but you could get it for free if you happen to subscribe to Kindle Unlimited. So let's talk a little bit about what this one is about. It says, Flossie learned right from the get-go that to expect anything from anyone, apart from her grandmother, would only ever lead to disappointment. That all the minutes and seconds of her life constantly intersected with the hard and tough minutes of everyone else's, right from the moment she entered this world and let loose a wail of arrival. It was the friends who couldn't be bothered to return the friendship, the dates that were only ever interested in one thing, and the general strangers who were never interested in returning her smile. So a little depressing, but I have a feeling Florence is going to turn it around. It starts with the sentence, Florence wasn't a people person, but it recommends this book for fans of Sally Thorne's The Hating Game and Emily Henry's Beach Read. Now, I really enjoyed Emily Henry's Beach Read, so maybe this will be for me. I'll be interested to give it a shot and see what I think. Let's see. Next book is actually Because of the Night by Rue Homadou. Now, you'll have to forgive me for the pronunciation. I think I'm close, Rue Homadou, but I can't be sure, so we'll give that a try. Because of the Night is the name of this book. I do believe it's middle grade. It's only 128 pages. It is published by Muse Literary, and it came out in October of last year. Now, I am always down for some middle grade, especially if it's good stuff. And I'm really enjoying the description of this book. So it says, Icky is a quirky girl with humorous ADHD impulses. Fully convinced she's mismatched with her complicated family and willing to risk everything to prove it, she embarks on a one-night adventure in a magical boat. It all starts one fall evening when Icky loses an unwinnable fight with her brainiac twin brother. Even if she uses her self-taught coping routine to tune out, detach, and move on, It's simply no match for the gazillions of thoughts that jam in the middle of her throat. As this ball of words unclogs in a huge explosion, it can't be contained any longer. Shut the front door, I must be in the wrong family. Feeling invincible, the girl carries a pillow, a hastily packed doll case, and a clear decision. She must leave on a quest to find her true family. So yeah, absolutely middle grade. As I said in one of my other videos, I have ADHD. So I'm intrigued by how they portray it in this book. I'm delighted by the fact that the girl's name is Icky. And I'll just be interested to see what happens with her ADHD and her belief that she is in the wrong family. I'm sure we've all felt like that at some point in our lives. So this should be interesting. The other thing I wanted to mention is the absolutely beautiful cover. You saw it a minute ago, but I love the cover on this book. So I probably would have picked it up just for the cover. I'm desperately guilty of picking up books just because I think they look beautiful, but this one is a gorgeous cover, so check that out as well. The third book I wanted to talk about is The Baldwin Hotel by Lonnie Bush. This is another gorgeous cover, so intrigued by that for sure. 296 pages. It was published in December of this past year, and it is published by UBIQ Press. I don't know if that's Ubique Press or UBIQ Press, but December of this past year. And I'm super curious about this one and wonder if this might not be a good one to read with my son because it has video games in it. Past and future collide in this mind-bending plunge into choices and consequences when a young video game designer meets his new boss, who not only has a connection to the young man's past, but a pivotal role in determining his future. Game designer Theodore Trumbull understands the addictive allure of video games, the chance for unlimited do-overs until you achieve your goal. As a young boy, Theodore was granted a cosmic do-over and chose a different outcome to spare his best friend a brutal thrashing, though his choice resulted in another boy's death. Theodore has glimpsed the future or changed the past. He would never be sure, but the event destroyed his childhood. So that is super intriguing to me, really interested. I'm also very curious why it's called the Baldwin Hotel. So far, no indication of what the link is to the Baldwin Hotel, but I definitely will be digging into this one to see about this cosmic do-over and how that's going to impact our protagonist, Theodore Trumbull. So those are all the books that I won over the past few weeks from Goodreads Giveaways, and I'm thrilled to have had the opportunity to share them with you. I hope you'll be able to find something in there that appeals to you. We had a little bit of middle grade, we had some suspense, we have a romance, a couple of gorgeous covers, and at least one that's available on Kindle Unlimited if you'd like to grab it for free. I really appreciate you joining me today. I always love talking books with you guys. I do have some music on the way out, so take a minute and listen to that, and I will see you next time. Thanks.
Take it off the shelf and let's get into it.